Hey everyone, it's Daniel from Voiceflow. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take very complex information that you might be showing to a user via a report and turn it into something that can actually be explained to the user and the user can interact with it. So here I'm going to hit explain report, and what's happening in the background is Voiceflow is getting the API endpoint that has all the information for this report, and it's actually able to take it and use an AI model to summarize that and communicate it back to the user. So you can see here we've taken this big old weather report and turned it into something that a user can understand. So New York City is experiencing temperatures around 27 degrees Celsius today. So let's go ahead and ask something like, what is the wind speed? And it's able to actually now reference this report and respond back to the user. So this is much easier than a user trying to navigate all this information. And so let's hop over to Voiceflow and show you how to make this. In our Voiceflow design, we have two parts. So the first part is taking the API information and summarizing it, and the second part is communicating it to the user. You can access this template in the link below and follow along. So here in the first one, we have a couple things going on. So first, we are getting the actual API endpoint that has all the information. I've just done it manually for the purpose of this video using our set step here. So I'm just setting the API endpoint to a variable, but you can use the API step, JavaScript step, or our dialog manager API to actually just grab this real time from your side. If you want to learn how or have questions about it, hop into our Discord. We're happy to chat. Once I've got that, I'm just giving the user a simple question, how can I help you? And I'm giving them a button to say explain report. If you have an assistant with multiple functions, this is where you can actually add in the buttons to link to multiple functions in different topics. Next, I am using the API step to make an API call in Voiceflow. And so the API step in Voiceflow can be found in the dev section, and it has everything that a REST API has. So get, post, put, patch, delete, anything you need. And so you can see here that I've got the endpoint is just a variable, so it's pulling from the variable I loaded here, and then it's just saving the entire response to API response. So if I actually go ahead and test this out, you'll see that it returns a ton of information about latitude, longitude, daily time, whatever it is. And so all we're doing is we're just saving this entire array into the API response variable here. Once I've gotten that and the API call is successful, then we do a couple things. So we use that set step again, but this time we actually use it to apply a function to our variable. So what we're doing is the variable right now is stored in a really long array. We want to turn that into a string so it can be processed by a large language model. And so what we're doing is we're just having a JSON stringify function and just returning this into a string and then just saving it back in API response. Once we've done that, the next thing we're doing is the set AI step. So this can be found in the AI section where it says set AI. And what this does is it sends a prompt to an AI model and then gets the response back and just saves it into a variable. And so we're saying, hey, here's a string of the API call, create a really detailed weather report that an AI can understand. And then we're saving it to the report variable. You can see here in my prompt settings, I'm using Claude. You can use GPT-3 or other models. Claude is the fastest one that I've seen so far and has a great level of accuracy. Once that's stored, we're doing another AI call, and we're saying, with the response AI step, we're saying, here's the weather report, provide a quick summary for a user. And that's pretty much the flow. After this, we are using the response AI step again, and we're just saying respond with memory. And this is just going to tell the system that if a user asks a follow-up response, which they can do here, just look at the conversation so far and respond based on that. And since it's got the weather report, it's got the summary, it's got the question, it'll be able to respond just like ChatGPT does. So that's how the flow works. We've also basically done the same thing here in case we have an error response, so being able to communicate that back to the user. But feel free to go in, start building in here. If you have any questions, again, hop in Discord, or you can also contact our team directly with our support chat down here that's also powered by Voiceflow. And so happy building. We're excited to see what you build, and let us know if you have any questions.